back to the channel, fool. Big shout out to all my new subscribers. I appreciate you all for tapping in, with a special shout out to Lil Bossy Muddy. So don't forget to share, like, and subscribe if you like videos like this. Do you guys have any witch theories? And I rebuke all evil transferred to this, and you better do the same. AI magic? Or was that bird real? Trust me, you don't want to go check.
How did the people who created the first clock know what time it was? What if it was 5 o'clock when they created the clock, but they put it as 4 o'clock? Isn't that concerning?
Bro was I don't know. Leave me alone.
That's as far as it goes on video. I'm taking a video of you. Goes away. What the hell?
What is going on? Do you see that?
Oh my God.
I don't know.
Video recorder.
See?
Finally, guys, we have UFOs captured in HD.
It's not really hollow. There are cities underneath the earth, and they've been down there. The people went down there at the fall of Atlantis. There's a whole city. It's got a sun, it's got water, it's got lakes, it's got animals. It's beautiful, and they're more highly advanced than we are. But that is
And they
inside
live
of the earth.
thousands of years old, I understand.
Oh, it's been down there since Atlantis. The survivors of Atlantis, some of them went into the hollow earth. The entrances are found underneath the pyramids of the world. They had the entrances to the hollow earth, and the pyramids were built on top of the entrances. This means the one in Egypt, the one in South America, anywhere there's a pyramid, there will be an entrance going down into the hollow earth.
And I have only one question. How much is food and the rent over there?
يا ملعون يا لعين ماذا بك أيها اللعين ماذا بك أيها اللعين إيش مالك عصبت يعني قل لي عصبت يعني شكل الشيطان دخل فيه الشيطان هذا اللي قاعد بيتحكم فيه بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم أعوذ بك من همزات الشياطين قل ربي إني أعوذ بك من همزات الشياطين بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم قل أعوذ برب الفلق من شر ما خلق ومن شر غاسق إذا وقب لأنه هذا شكل الشيطان بيتحكم فيه رسمي الشيطان بيتحكم فيه.
Caught on camera wearing Jordans.
They're reptilian. They're ugly. They're anywhere from 7 to 22 feet tall. They can weigh up to 1,800 pounds. The longer, the ones that have stubby tails, if you see one that has no tail, these are the warrior class or the worker class. The longer the tail, the higher their rank. When you see one with long tails, with winged appendages, he's considered royalty. They have two hearts. There's one here underneath this armpit and one here. Or if you can't get to that area, you need to slow it down, you need to hit it right above his groin area. It has a very large liver. You need to wound it there to slow it down. It is not something where man-to-man combat you're going to be able to deal with, because they apparently have the strength of 12, 15 men. They're incredibly quick. They're incredibly psychic. They know what you're going to do before you do it. And you know, if they get here in mass, we got real problems. Real problems. There are 1,833 of them that have been living underground between 100 and 200 miles beneath the surface. They've been here, some of them have been here a long, long time. They have lifespans that are thousands of years. They're carnivorous. They are not friendly to mankind, at least the ones that are here.
Are they carnivorous? They eat humans?
Yes. And they need to be, they won't eat a dead human. It has to be alive at the time of the killing. Their preference is children. You know, and we've been told you shouldn't talk about.
And how does he know that? Think about it. Already that glass was commercial grade.
What is a skinwalker?
A skinwalker is a shape-shifting demonic entity. It's essentially a Native American witch or warlock that sells their soul in exchange for immortality, the ability to take on the skin or shape-shift, oftentimes in the form of a wolf, a dire wolf, or a werewolf-like creature, but they can also take on the shape of other animals as well. It's a topic that I found the Native American community likes to stay away from. They don't like to discuss it. To even say the name Skinwalker is negative.
Anybody guys experienced it?
You said you don't count cards.
I mean, I can count cards. Counting cards is not hard, but no, that's not my strategy, but counting cards is not hard. Some of those brightest card counting minds get hired to work for the casino in surveillance. And they help two things. They help hands-on, like with actual watching live in real time, catching card counters. They watch back tapes of suspected card counters, and the guy who's like a, bright mind at counting cards goes, yeah, he's counting cards. Or the third way is they help create the software. They help give the software developers the data that they use in their brain to count cards or to catch a suspected card counter, so the software can pick it up also.
Okay, but counting cards is not technically illegal, is it?
It's not illegal. If it was illegal, they'd get arrested.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, it's just frowned upon.
Right.
It's bad for business if you're a casino owner.
Right. Now, the casinos are corporations, but they're not public organizations, meaning that they can decide who is allowed in the casino.
So casinos can cheat to steal, but you can't. Where is the logic here? OMG, time to go back home.
Gentleman, as you saw, that is freaking out on an airplane, and the images shown of what was sitting next to him. I don't know if it was a shapeshifter. I don't know if it was a demon. Most people are saying it was an alien. It looks like it's some form of demon creature that maybe transformed in front of him. And as you can see, a bunch of people, they were all jumping up and videoing.
I just wish they had a better quality video, guys.
So these tunnels underground, which lead to a vast city beneath Manhattan, were created by the Vanderlei family, who were one of 7 families that allegedly came from beyond the ice wall and discovered our world centuries ago.
Exactly. Story goes our world's a whole lot bigger than we've been led to believe, buddy. That we are allegedly surrounded by this massive ice wall. Somewhere far outside of this ice wall, there is a place called the Ancestral Lands. This is where the Vanderleis were from. They, along with 6 other families, reigned supreme over the ancestral lands. They were like royalty. Amidst one of their expeditions, they discovered a massive wall made of ice in the middle of the ocean. Eventually, they found passages in the ice wall big enough for their ship to get inside. And the weeks that followed marked the discovery of 7 different continental landmasses. Each family claimed one. And so our world was born. They devised a plan to populate each continent with their own people from the ancestral lands. But only embryos, so they, or we, would have no knowledge of our origins.
The outer space might not be in the sky, maybe underwater, underground. Who knows?
Someone wrote into my show, said, Michael, if you could meet the devil. I said, I don't know, I probably have met the devil a few times. Don't wish I
met him twice.
You've met him twice?
Personally.
How'd that go?
Not well the first time, because I wasn't even a seminarian. I was discerning. I just came out of my life of sin. I joined Our Lady of Victory, like I mentioned, and this little old Polish priest who became my spiritual director. And I remember one day I went in and I said, you know, this job is killing me because, well, it was a sales position. I was entertaining big shots at all fancy restaurants every night, drinking. I said, I can't balance this with trying to live this new life. It's not working. So he said to me, well, let's do this. Why don't you, for the next month, you can go call ahead or go to meet to the restaurant early and tell the bartender when you order a drink that it would be just club soda, no vodka. But you would order it publicly and then they won't know. I said, I can do that. So he said, no alcohol for a month. So it's the middle of the day, it's like noon. I come out of the church and there's this beautiful, handsome man, custom tailored suit. And he's staring at me, which if you've ever lived in New York, you don't stare at people.
It's pretty unusual.
Very, like you put your eye, you don't,
yeah.
It's almost an attack, like this, I'm being attacked now, I have to fight. And I just was like, weird. So I turned to walk towards my office and he runs up next to me and he grabs me by the arm. Again, no guys do that. No guy grabs somebody by the arm and is like escorting them. And he goes, let's get a drink. And I just had chills go up and down my body. And I said, get away from me. And then I turned direction and went towards my apartment because it was closer. And I got to my apartment and I walked through the doors and the doors closed behind me. And I looked out and he was just laughing at me. And it was like, whew. So he leaves and I run back to the church. I go, Father, let me tell you what just happened. What do you think happened here? What is this? He goes, I told you, you're going to have a target on your back. So you got to be careful. And I said, was that who I think it was? And he goes, sounds like it.
Certainly seems that way.
I mean, that was just no random person for sure. So that really, it's frightened me, to be honest. I was like that. I didn't sign up for this at all. And then a few years later, I was on a vacation visiting an old banker friend down in Miami. And she set up a whole luncheon at this place called Nikki Beach, which really isn't appropriate for seminarians or priests. Yeah. It's it's the glitterati, the high-powered, wealthy people. It's bottle service on the beach.
Right.
And I'm just like, oh, I don't know how I feel about this. And the two girls to my right, I knew both of them. Sandra was hosting, and my ex-boss, Christine, was with me. And they start looking at this guy across over by the other end of the deck. Like, oh my God, look at that guy. He's so handsome. My God, he's beautiful. And all of a sudden, Sandra's like, oh, he's coming over here. And I turn and I look, and it's him. It's the guy. It's the one that wanted to get the drink. Only now he's like shirtless in a bathing suit, and he walks up and he goes, "What are you doing here? I thought you were going to be a priest." And he goes, "This is my territory. You shouldn't be here." And both the girls got flipped out. They were like, they had the scare mechanism,
like the face that I'm making right now.
Yeah, literally, like, danger, Will Robinson. And Christine's like, get the check. And she threw money down. She's like, we're out of here. And we left. But like, when those things happen, God allowed it, right? So for me, I felt like I wasn't supposed to be there.
But did he meet the devil, or a demon called himself the devil?
Now this is definitely something you don't see every day, a duende in the clutches of a cat. This happened in Ecuador and is actually very impressive footage. Pay close attention to the duende, pixie, fairy, little creature as it fights to free itself from the cat. Unfortunately, the cat broke the creature's arm and damaged its leg, But this brave little creature manages to break free from the cat and flies off at incredible speed.
And cats can definitely sense interdimensional beings.
Proof that reincarnation is real.
I passed away in the river.
By yourself?
With you.
Oh, with me?
Yes.
I was with you?
I want to pass away again.
You are?
I want to again.
You want to again?
Yes.
Why?
Because I don't want to be here.
You don't want to be here?
No. I will come back soon.
You will come back soon?
I will come back here soon as...
I wish I could be a pirate again.
When were you a pirate?
I was a long time ago when you weren't alive, and then I shrunk into a little kid.
Where's my grandma? Where is she?
Up in heaven. What did she do to make her go up in heaven?
She was just very old.
Did you grandma almost couldn't walk?
She was old. She could walk, but she was old.
Mommy, your grandma's here. And she says, "Hi, Jamila."
What?
Your grandma's here, and she says, "Hi, Jamala."
Her mommy explained there was no way she could know this name because she was called Jamala 30 years ago by her grandmother while growing up and never told it to anyone.
Take it up head.
Take it up head? Take off my head?
Yeah.
You want me to take off my head?
Yeah.
Why?
I think.
Do you know what'll happen if you take off my head?
Yeah.
What will happen?
Baby hat, you take my head off.
I'll take your head off?
Yeah.
Why?
She was recording a cute memory snap with her little boy when he started behaving strangely, saying that he sees something in the other room.
What you doing? What you see? What? What you see? Who are you saying hi to? Who are you saying hi to? Dude, you need to stop that. You're freaking me out. Come on.
Some of you guys gonna say unreal, but hey, what about now?
Because you know how I figured it out? What's 1 times 1?
1 times 1 is 1.
To multiply means to do what? To make more, right?
Yes.
Increase in number?
Yes.
Multiply?
Yes.
How can 1 times 1 equaling 1 be part of the multiplication table? It fails to satisfy the term multiply. It doesn't multiply. Does it? What's an action times an action?
You got some weed.
No, I'm asking you. Honestly, I'm asking reason. Reason. I want you to reason.
I don't know.
What's an action times an action? A reaction, right?
Okay.
Have you ever seen an action times an action without a reaction? Have you? No, because equanimity is the currency of the universe. There's always an action times an action having a reaction. So how can 1 times 1 equal 1? How can A times B just be A?
If 1 plus 1 equals 2, 1 times 1 should be greater. Shapeshifters on TV. AI will never cease to amaze me.
Rays are not aliens. They're mutated humans from a parallel version of Earth that destroyed their version of Earth to the point where they had to go underground. They mutated. Their eyes got bigger to see in the dark and all this kind of stuff, but they had to mutate to survive. They tried cloning themselves to save their civilization, and that didn't work. over generations, things started failing. They knew that they were basically in the process of dying out. So what they knew they needed to basically perpetuate their civilization was viable human DNA, which didn't exist anymore in their reality. But they used their advanced technology to tunnel into parallel realities, to shift into parallel worlds like ours, parallel versions of Earth that exist simultaneously with theirs, where viable human DNA was still existing. And to use that DNA through the abduction experiences to create hybrid beings from their DNA and our DNA so that their civilization would continue, would survive. So the hybrid civilizations, like Bashar's people, are actually the result of those abduction experiences and the perpetuation of their culture. But sort of as a payback for the use of that DNA, the hybrids, now like Bashar, are sharing information with us in our reality so that we might not necessarily have to go down the same destructive path.
And that's absolutely plausible. Those birds disappeared in the water.
And man, I'll tell you what, this is going to sound crazy. If anybody wants to think I'm nuts, I've had one call where it's kind of funny to say this, where I just went, if there's such a thing as demonic possession, this might be it. And, because you deal with unstable people all the time, but this one call I had, it was just like, you're not thinking that when you're on the call. You're not thinking, oh, that's just the devil. I've seen The Exorcist. I can just, power of Christ compels you. Let's move on.
What do you mean by call? Like,
I got called to I was working with this young officer, and we got called up to this house up here on the mountain over by, it's up here on top of High Ridge, Franklin Hills area, way up here. Beautiful, beautiful neighborhood.
Yeah.
And the call comes in on the computer, and it says this guy wants his wife taken to the psychiatric center. He's just, the officers to give her a ride. And I was kind of like, man, that's your wife. That's your problem, man. You take her. We get there, we knock on the door, and this elderly man opens, and he says, hey, my wife's been in the psych center for months. They've let her go, and she needs to go back. And I'm afraid to put hands on her because I don't want to fight her. I don't want her to fight back, and I don't want to be accused of hurting my wife. We've been through enough. I'm a jerk, man. She starts telling me a little bit about her, right? He says, well, she's upstairs. She's been out, I don't know, a few weeks, but she's not eating. She hasn't showered. She's not taking care of herself. She's not on her meds. And she's just been pacing up and down, back and forth, just pacing. And he goes, be careful where you step when you go up there because there's blood along the floor. All right, because she'd been dragging her feet and it just like gnawed her feet down. It was causing them to bleed out.
Jesus.
Yeah. So right then, their son comes out of the kitchen or something. He's like, hey, what's up, you guys? We're like, hey, what's up, man? And I noticed he has fresh ink on. He just got tatted up because he's got ointment. I just catch this, and so we're all talking. And, the dude says, we'll go upstairs. Just be careful. She's up there. It's kind of already eerie. He's like, be careful. All right, man.
Wait, were you by yourself?
I had an officer with me. I had a young female with me. As we come up off the steps, there's these double doors, and man, like it's like right out of the movies. There she is. She's straight back, and she's just kind of taking that torque stance where she just tweaked, and her hair is just stringy and matted down, just all matted out, and her skin is just pasty, just like, and she's doing this breathing like. I'm going, man, and she pops up, right? And she just starts walking towards us, and that's like I'm going, like, what do you do? I'm like, hey, come here, give me your hands. Let's talk this out. Like, no, that's not going to work, man. And she walks right towards me, and she beelines it right back to where she was started. And she's just going back and forth, dragging her feet. And she's like hyperventilating, and her body's jerking. This was on another level, man. This was on another level. And I get the officer I'm with starts talking to her, and they're like facing each other. And this lady, she just looks at me. she just turns and looks at me, right? And she shallows her breathing and she's looking at me, and I'm going like red flag one. Like something in her was watching me. I know that sounds nuts. That sounds like when we're looking at each other now, it's not like that. Like something was, I'm going, this is weird. So right then, their son comes upstairs and he sees I'm engaged in this. He goes, hey, man. I'm like, what's up, dude? He goes, I'm a Christian rapper. And I'm going like, what? He goes, yeah, man, I drop beats for the Lord. Like, okay, I mean, and I'm telling
what
my
a house.
yeah, I'm going, this guy, let's get her. We got to get her. Let's get her out of here. And then right then, this old man comes up and he has something in his hand. And I'll get to that in a second. He has something in his hand. And the kid does something. Red flag number 2. The kid takes a key out and he unlocks his bedroom door and a deadbolt. I'm going, who does that?
Right.
I mean, you don't even have keys on this, probably on your doors, to the bedrooms here.
Regular.
Yeah, who has keys?
Yeah, the little inside lock on the doorknobs.
And this is also custom where it's a deadbolt.
Oh.
Like, who does that? But I'm thinking I'm not thinking. It's just like things are like, and he says, hey, check this out. And he has this little machine. It says you can drop, I'm like, oh, okay, dude. He has his Bible and he sees that I have tattoos. He goes, do you have to cover those up? I'm like, yeah, man. He goes, check this out. And he shows that tattoo now. And it's this angelic Christian, whatever this thing is, like a protector, a heavenly protector type thing, some religious thing. And he sees I'm watching this and I'm telling the officer, let's go. Let's get her going. The whole time she's engaged in me. And the kid says something. And I'll never forget this. Now, again, I say demonic or this, if it's something else, it's not like Hollywood, man. They're not crawling on the walls and heads spinning around and these voices. And, no, this is real. And this kid says, sir, I'm like, what's up, man? He goes, this is nothing. I'm like, what do you mean this is nothing? He goes, you should hear it at night. I go, what? He goes, you should hear it at night. I go, this is your mother. You refer to her as it? That's not my mom, bro. Because and that's why I lock my door. I went, man. So we get her, right? We're like, until the officer, we got to take her. Well, then the old man's standing there with that thing in his hand. You know how nowadays we have our phones and I can show you pictures or just send you pictures, like this is my daughter's, my family, whatever.
Right.
Jiu-jitsu, whatever we're doing. He has a Rolodex, like 3x5 pictures that maybe your parents had, like a little album.
Right.
And they had just moved here from maybe Idaho or Iowa. Again, lovely home. And he's flipping through it and he gets through this picture of this woman in the kitchen in that house. And that was her. And she's stunning. And I'm like, is this her? He goes, yeah. I go, what happened? He goes, we don't know. They don't know. I said, is she an addict? Is she on drugs? History of any of that?
But wait, they don't know who she is?
That's his wife. They don't know what happened to her, according to her husband.
Oh, so when the kid said that's not his mom.
Yeah. Well, he's saying what he's seeing, like what she's doing
in her current state.
Yes. He goes, that's not my mom.
Okay.
That's not like what he's saying is that's not the woman I know.
Right.
Yeah. That's mom. But
so he deadbolts his door at night because of her.
Yes.
The demons come out.
Whatever it is, man. And we ended up, there's no dramatic, heroic ending. We ended up getting her to the psychiatric center. We gave her a ride. The breathing continued. Her demeanor continued. And we turned her over to the psych center. Her husband was there, walked her in, and that was the end of it. Don't know whatever happened. But it makes you wonder, like, what's going on? Like, for her own son to go, lock it up, and he's turning it all made sense. It was like one of those Kaiser Sosa moments from The Usual Suspects where everything comes together, man. Like, it all made sense. He's just protecting himself. He's turning his life over to God, his talent for God, Bibles and tattoos of God, this. I'm just going, wow, man, this must really be affecting this guy, man. So, oh yeah. I mean, is it just some mental illness? I don't know,
The interviewer could have done better.
Okay, yesterday you told us you traveled, and I quote, thousands of light years to get here. Chris, tell us the truth. It is truth. Only far enough. Far enough future. To travel time. To travel space. All transmission directions. I take it aliens took over our future, right? No. So you're human. Okay, so you evolved from us. Yes. So what are you doing here now? I'm How? Okay, so how about we concentrate on your time? Wait, so you know the meaning of one? What's the difference? So you know how the universe is created? So you think God? Okay, illuminate us. What happens when we die? Okay, so let me get this straight. There's no death, and we all experience each other's lives, right? Okay, so how was the universe created, and why is it so perfectly made for us? Moving on. Okay, so why do we destroy ourselves with nuclear war? Can you be more specific, please? Okay, one last thing. What about morality? What are you basing your morality on?
Imagine it was the real footage. How many of you guys gonna believe it? And that's all for today, fool. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit and smash the like button for me. Smash the subscribe button, be part of the family. Remember, stay woke, and I'll catch you next time.